Good day everyone, I am Christian P. Abapo and I will be reporting the domains of development and infancy stages in child development. So the developmental milestones are categorized into four domains, which are the physical, social, emotional, language, and cognitive. So physical development includes changes in the body and its systems such as motor skills, both gross and fine motor skills. So coordination, sensory perception, and overall physical health. Social and emotional development. This domain focuses on changes in a person's relationship, social skills, and emotional understanding. So, self-awareness and the ability to regulate and express emotions appropriately. And language development. This domain encompasses the development of expressive and receptive language skills, including vocabulary, grammar, syntax, and the ability to comprehend and communicate effectively. So, and cognitive development. This domain involves changes in thinking, memory, problem solving, and understanding. It includes intellectual abilities such as attention, memory, reasoning, decision making, and problem solving skills. So now let's proceed to the stages in child development. In each stages, growth and development occurs in the four domain mentioned in while ago. So there are four stages, which are the infancy, early childhood, middle childhood, and the adolescence. For this report, I will be going to discuss the first stage, which is the infancy, birth to 2 years. So, infancy is a critical stage in child development because growth is rapid. Many believe that this stage is the most important stage in one's life, since the changes that occurs in infancy will affect the later stages of development. Now let's look at the chart to see the typical and atypical developmental milestone in the infancy stage. But first, I will discuss what is typical and atypical. The term typical is used to describe something that conforms to a commonly expected or usual pattern or behavior or characteristic. It refers to something that is considered normal, standard, or common. On the other hand, atypical means something that deviates from what is considered typical or usual. It refers to something that is not commonly seen or expected and may be considered unusual, abnormal, or unique. In the table, we have the four domains and its typical and atypical development of infancy. So, the first one is physical development. As you can see, there are typical and atypical milestone or physical development. So in typical, we have this holds head without support. Typically, infants gain head control and development the strength to hold their head up without support around 3 to 4 months of age. Prior to this milestone, newborn have limited control over the head and rely on caregivers for support. While in atypical, we have this does not hold head up of an infant does not hold their head up to around 3 to 4 months of age. So maybe considered atypical physical development can have various causes, including medical conditions, developmental delays, or muscle weakness. If an infant struggles to hold their head up, it could be due to factors such as low muscle tone, forehead control, or a delay in motor development. So the second one is the socio-emotional development. In typical, we have these smiles at people. Typically, infants begin to engage socially and show emotions responses within the first few months of life. By around 2 to 3 months of age, most babies starts to develop to ability response stimuli, make eye contact, and react to familiar faces and voices. So, smiling at people in early socio-emotional behavior that indicates the baby's recognition of positive responses to others. So, while in atypical, we have this show no affection. If a child shows no affection or displays difficulty in forming emotional connection, may be considered atypical. Atypical or social emotional development can have various causes, including genetic factors, neurological conditions, trauma, or environmental influences. If a child consistently shows no affection or difficulty in forming emotional connections, it could be due to factors such as attachment disorder, autism, spectrum disorder, or other socio-emotional challenges. So, the third one is the language development. In typical, we have this response to own name. Typically, infants begin to develop their listening and attention skills within the first few months of life. So, and they start to respond to familiar sounds, including their own name, by around 6 to 9 months. So, 9 months of age, most infants show an increasing awareness of their name, respond to it by turning their head, making eye contact, or smiling when they hear it being called. So, while in atypical, we have this does not say a single word. If a child does not say a single word by a certain age, it may consider atypically if a child does not say a single word by the expected age. So, it could be an indication of language delay or disorders. Various factors can contribute atypically language development, such as hearing impairment, developmental disorder like autism spectrum disorder, or language disorders like expressive language delay. So, and the last one is the cognitive development. In typical, we have this watches things as they move. Typically, infants begin to develop their visual tracking skills within the first few months of life. They show increasingly ability to visually attend to objects and track their movement with their eyes. By around 2 to 3 months of age, most infants start to show an interest in visually tracking objects, such as toys or faces, as they move across their field or of vision. While in atypical, we have this does not watch things as they move. If a child consistently does not watch things as they move, it may indicate a delay or difficulty in their visual attentions and tracking skills. So, this can be a sign of atypical cognitive development and may warrant further evaluations by a healthcare professional or pediatrician, and that's all. Thank you.